Well, welcome, my friends. I'm so excited to be here yet again, yet another year with Chris Covey talking about mustaches for kids, Omaha. Chris, thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much for having me. I look forward to this every year. It's always good to catch up with you, and we love talking about mustaches.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first year was several years ago when we were sitting in the studio, but again,
Mhm.
here we are on live Zoom. But let's just talk about first. Tell me, mustaches for kids. Give me a little background on that and people that may not know what that is.
Sure. So we are the local organization of a national organization called Mustaches for Kids America. We are the Omaha chapter, and what we do is fairly simple. In a nutshell, we get as many dudes as we can. We shave down completely clean shaven. This is actually a very rare beard for me. We shave down completely clean shaven, and then for 30 days we grow mustaches, just a stash, nothing down here, nothing south of the mouth. It's just a mustache. And during that 30 days, we hit up our friends and family and say, hey, we're doing this for the kids. Donate to my mustache, and all that money goes to a local children's charity. And the point being, if you don't have a mustache and you start growing just a mustache, it's very noticeable and people comment on it, and mostly it's rude. But that's fine. That's what we're doing. We're suffering, at least for the first 2 weeks. It's pretty dirty. After that, they get pretty darn glorious and sexy. So that's what we do in a nutshell. We're the Omaha chapter. We started 13 years ago. A guy named Adam Perez saw this online and said, hey, let's do that in Omaha. So he got together with a few knuckleheads, my brother included. He got me involved, and we just wanted to raise $1,500 and beat the Iowa chapter. That was our goal.
And,
And our
and,
first,
what did you do? Yeah, what did you do?
they had $1,500, and we ended up with 30 guys, and we raised $23,000, which at the time we thought was just amazing. That was the most money in the world. Nobody could ever top that. And we had so much fun, we did it again, and then we kept doing it, and it kept growing, and it got bigger. And then one year, about 4 or 5 years in, we beat New York and became the biggest
Yeah,
chapter in the country. I think we raised 200 some thousand dollars that year. And now here we are 13 years later, we've raised almost $4 million for
I
a
know.
variety of children's charities.
Which, Chris, is so amazing because first of all, this is so much fun. And I've been to a couple of the reveal parties, which we'll talk about a little bit later, just what's happening this year. But been to the reveal party a few years ago. Everybody with the guys that were the growers, which is what you call them. Let's just
Yep.
talk about growers for just a second, and then I'll kind of jump back into the story. Growers are
Growers are the guys who grow the mustaches, right?
yeah,
And we have our own language that we use, and we forget that it sounds ridiculous to normal people. So we have all the guys that do it are called growers. They all register. We'll tell you how you can do that here before we get off this Zoom. But
yeah,
yeah, so all the growers show up clean shaven, and we all do the same thing. We all grow
yeah.
mustaches. Not all mustaches are created equal, but
And they
everybody
are
has a good
not.
time.
I've actually learned that. I had no idea that they were not all created equally. As a woman, I had no idea because I can't grow a mustache. But I know with the reveal party I was at years ago, a few years ago, everybody like showed up in costume and it was so much fun. And again, raising so much money for charity. And I know that the charity piece has changed over the years because it used to be like one specific charity,
Right.
and then you included more charities. So let's just talk about the charity aspect for this year.
Sure. Yeah, so we for years just raised money for one charity, and then last year everything changed for everybody. Right,
Yeah,
COVID hit. We had
yeah,
actually started our application process. We're in the middle of that when, within a matter of about 7 days, everything shut down,
yeah,
and so we went back to everybody who had applied and said, "Tell us how COVID has affected you already," because our usual criteria were kind of out the window. Now we were trying to help these charities just keep the lights on month to month,
yeah,
and so we then pivoted, and instead of picking one charity, we actually picked 8. So last year, we raised money for 8 different charities of a variety of sizes. And that was really fun because our entire campaign had to be done virtually. We couldn't meet in
yeah,
person anywhere. So the restrictions of time and space didn't matter anymore. So we could have as many guys. We had 350 guys, I think, do it. And we split all
wow,
that money up over 8 charities. And the year before, our charity partner was Angels Among Us, and we set another all-time record. So in 2019, we raised $750,000
which is
in
just
30 days.
amazing. That's
Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah, the numbers aren't even real money. It's like monopoly money to us anymore. They're just
Yeah.
numbers. We can't wrap our head around how much that is. And then last year in the pandemic, we actually broke that record and raised 762,000, which
Yeah.
these guys just, I mean, they were locked up in their houses, and people say, how did you do that? I say, well, come to Omaha and meet people who live here, because a lot of people were affected, but a lot of people weren't, and they really wanted to help. And we gave them an opportunity to support 8 charities with 1 check, and people really responded. It's amazing, the generosity of this town.
It is. And I'm going to just backtrack just for a second, because, like you said, back in the day, you raised 24,000, or, I mean, I can't remember what you just, the numbers that you first raised. And as I've been following what you've been doing, it is extraordinary the amount of money that people are raising. First of all, this is just so much fun, I think, for guys and everybody that they know. There's this ripple effect that goes out that's contagious when you're doing something fun, raising money for charities, and you are a comedian, which
it doesn't hurt, because when you've got an entire philanthropy based on absurdity, it helps to have a joker helping run the show. But yeah, it's what we've noticed over time. It was interesting. We thought that in years 2 and 3, some of the novelty would wear off, right? The first year, everything's new. And we thought people would say, oh, wait, you're doing this every year? Well, I'm not going to give you a check every year. Just the opposite of that has happened. All these donors look forward to it. It's year over year. It's like they're all fans of a team that's the national champion.
Right.
And so they all feel like they're part of it. So I've seen people posting on Facebook about the pride they feel when they see what we do collectively as a group, because they feel like they're part of that. We're the 95 Huskers of growing mustaches.
Yeah.
And all of our donors are our fan base.
Yeah. So, okay. So like you said, last year, I mean, you had 8 charities. So this year, you scaled that down a little bit. Am I correct?
Yeah. So this year we went into the application process without a set number. We were just going to kind of see what came to us. And we ended up picking 2 charities with a twist. I'll tell you the twist at the end. So the first charity we picked is Northstar Foundation. Northstar operates a facility up in North Omaha, and their main goal is to take school-aged, primarily Black boys, and save them from the many perils that a lot of their cohorts and in that neighborhood, their fates, the outcomes are bad. It's the single worst performing demographic in Omaha as far as graduation rates and other things. Yeah. So they tackled that single problem head on, and they're amazing. The outcomes from those folks, and they do sports camps, they do summer camps, they do after school tutoring. I got to go tour the facility. Really dedicated people, and you can literally just track the outcome. All these kids graduating, and they come back to the community. It's really an amazing organization. And then our second community partner is In Common Community Partners. Yes, In Common's amazing. So they have kind of 2 projects in the work. They've got their Walnut Hill facility, which does a lot of things for leadership development, after school specials, summer programs. But their goal is to break the cycle of poverty. So they're in one of the poorest parts of Omaha doing that. But what we're really excited about is in the Walnut Hill area, which is, I might have messed up my neighborhoods there. The first one is in South Omaha. The second one is in Walnut Hill. They just took possession of a building that they're going to turn into a community center to teach youth leadership and tutoring and things like that. So they put their money where their mouth is. They walk right into the worst parts of Omaha that they can find and say, we're going to turn this from the inside out. And it's not them going in and giving out stuff. It's them going in and empowering community leaders and the youth in that community to change it from within. And we're so excited to be raising money.
Yeah. And like you said, it's also community leaders and the youth. I mean, it's like this full circle thing. It's everybody that can be a part of the contribution to whatever this piece is. I mean, that's huge. It's wow.
Yeah. And I promised a twist. So this year, just for fun, we chose 2 additional charities, smaller charities, budgets under $250,000. We've not revealed them yet. I'm sorry, you don't get the scoop on this. I'm not revealing it on this. But
that's okay.
But what we've decided to do is we've set aside $40,000. I mean, we don't have it yet, but we will. We're setting aside $40,000, and then each week at our checkpoint, we're going to give out a $10,000 check to one of those 2 charities. And each week it will be based on something completely different, random. They're not going to compete for it. They can't do anything to influence the outcome. Their perspective, it's completely random. But we think it's going to be a lot of fun each week to give out that check, and also to introduce them and what they do to our guys and their donors. So they'll get a little, some great exposure, and it'll be kind of fun. One of them could get 0, which would be too bad, but we don't decide the fates.
Yeah, and you know what? And that's okay. So it's just, but adding that extra piece is fun, and it's, everybody wants to be a part of that. So, all right. So let's talk a little logistically. So you've got the growers that can sign up until the 6th. I mean, this will probably, people are seeing this a few days ahead of time. So if somebody wants to start their growing mustache, which is what is it called? A shave down?
Clean shave, our clean shave party.
Okay.
Yep.
Shave down. I kind of like the shave down thing, but clean shave.
Clean shave, yeah. So clean shave is May 6th at Two Fine Irishmen. That's when the whole thing kicks off. So you can register from whenever you're seeing this up to that date. Just go to m4komaha.com, or if you just Google mustaches in Omaha, we've got a pretty good presence and you'll find it. Go register. We ask the registrars to pay, or the growers to pay a $25 stash tax, help cover. You get t-shirt and you get some other swag when you get there. And then that night is a night to just get to know us, get to know the charities. We essentially walk you through how to do it, right? You know how to shave, you know how to grow a mustache, but the other part of, okay, how do I turn that into dollars? We'll teach you all that. So if you're a little hesitant about doing that, don't worry. We got guys there that'll help you through that. And then a bunch of guys, some of these guys, their best friends now are guys they met in mustaches. It can become a lifestyle for some of these guys. It's crazy.
I love it. Okay, so go to the website, register, come out to 3 Fine Irishmen. Is that correct?
Yeah, Two Fine out at 180th and Q. Yeah, and then each week we meet at a different bar to have our checkpoints, and that's a chance to turn in any checks that you might have picked up. Talk about the mustache lifestyle. It is not an excuse to drink beer once a week and tell our wives it's for the kids. That's not at all what this is. And then it ends with Stash Bash, the greatest party of the year. It's like nothing else. You've already hinted, Andy, about what this is, but it's a huge mustache-themed costume party with celebrity judges, awards. It's a pageant meets the Oscars meets a dumpster fire. It is an epic event. We call it the most fun you'll never remember. Yeah. Or no, the best memory you'll never have, I think is how they say it.
All right. Well, either way, I've been to it several times. It is so much fun. And the contribution that everybody makes to the community to be a part of this is just huge. And that's just what our community is about, is contribution. So I'm going to give you a couple seconds to say a few more things, but I know we're going to upload some photos that either you probably sent us, but also some pictures I took at the Stash Bash a few years ago, just so people can kind of get a feel of, or maybe get some inspiration of what character they would like to play. Because a lot of it's about the character. It is
a lot of the mustaches. We all name our mustaches. For 12 years, my mustache has been named the Commodore. But depending on when this airs, you might get a scoop on this. I am, for the first time ever, changing my mustache name for 1 year only. We are having our entire theme this year is the 80s. So we'll have MTV, M4. You'll see M4K with the MTV logo and all that. So for 1 year only, my mustache will now be known as the Commodore 64.
My God, I love that. And again, it's raising money for great charities and having so much fun doing it. So, all right. Website, give us website.
Yeah, m4komaha.com. You can join us on Facebook at m4komaha, Twitter, Instagram. The handle's the same for all of those if you want to follow along. By the time this airs, we will have released a video that some of our guys made, kind of a hype video based on our 80s theme. And I won't say anything else about it, but by the time this airs, when you go, if you're a guy, go check out the video, go register, and if you're on the fence, if you're not sure, if you're like, this sounds kind of cool, it sounds like they're doing a lot of good, but I'm not sure if I can grow a mustache. A lot of guys are like, oh, my wife or my girlfriend won't let me grow a mustache. Well, you know what? Whichever one doesn't, dump them. Go with the other one. You're better off that way.
But
But
it's
if you're
only
on,
like 30 days, so you grow it for
yes,
30 days,
and you
right?
can have a mask on. The mandate doesn't end until the 25th. You want to wear a
Yeah.
mask, you want to work from home. There's a million reasons why this is your year. But come to Clean Shape. If you're on the fence, you're not sure, come to Clean Shape, hang out with us, see what we're all about. And if you get to the end and you're like, yeah, it's not for me, that's cool. But I think you'll show up and go, okay, yeah. There's just certain guys out there that they hear about us or they see us and they're like, oh yeah, this is what's been missing from my life.
Yeah.
And two fantastic charities. I mean, you can't
Yeah.
go wrong there.
Yeah. Chris, Kobe, thank you so much. I always love chatting with you. And yeah, let's just make this, I think every year gets just bigger with this organization and what you're doing. So we're going to just, level it up and let's, have this best year yet. So
we hope so. We're hoping that, we will be in person and live streaming. So if you are somebody who, for whatever reason, is not comfortable going out in public but want to participate, you'll be able to follow along with everything we do through a virtual campaign. But we are going to be live and in person each week, and as long as it's safe and legal.
Absolutely. And what's the date for what's the date for the reveal? Like the big
So we go from May 6th is Clean Shave, and then Stash Bash is June 5th. This year we had to move it locations, so we're going to be at Stocks and Bonds, which is in the Ralston area. Technically, I think it's Omaha, but it's like the 84th and Park area in that mall there. We're excited. It's a fun space. There's a mechanical bull. What could go wrong?
Guys with mustaches and mechanical bulls, what could go wrong? Nothing.
I don't think so.
All right, Chris. Oh my God. I love talking to you. Thank you so much. And just wishing you huge success on this next Mustaches for Kids, which I know you will have. And
we appreciate it. Thank you for having us on and for everything you've done over the years to help promote and support us.
Yeah. And we'll be chatting with you once it's all said and done. So Chris, thanks so much.
Perfect. Thanks. Bye.
And folks, we'll be right back. Well, I am so excited to be here with two people I just love and adore, and they've been involved in so many different organizations, but I've got David and Melanie Hecker. They are here. They are here for the Child Saving Institute, the Cabaret coming up here in May, and you guys are the chairman. Melanie is on the CSI board, but let's talk first, because I want to talk about the event, which is one of my favorites, but let's just talk about CSI in general. What is CSI and who do they serve?
So Child Saving Institute is an organization in Omaha that's been around for 129 years. And their entire mission has always been responding to the cry of a child. And they do that by being dedicated to prevent who have experienced severe trauma, neglect, and abuse.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know we've worked so much with CSI and such important work. And I know, Melanie, you actually have like this connection with CSI that I think is why, when we have a passion, we connect with an organization that really ties us. Would you like to share about that? We didn't talk about doing that on this.
No, it's great because I'm so proud of my connection. So in 1969, my biological mother was trying to determine if she would continue with her pregnancy or what she should do, and decided that she wanted to have her baby but not keep it, She felt like she couldn't provide for that baby, and I'm that baby. And so CSI provided her with a safe haven and programs for her to come to that decision and to help her continue with school while she was pregnant. And then CSI found my forever family for me. So lots of, just lots of love and support from CSI. And, they didn't just help me, they helped 3 people: my biological mother, my mother, who couldn't have kids, and then me. So it's very special, and to be able to pay back and give back to them by chairing Cabaret is it's kind of a full circle moment for me.
No, absolutely. And again, I mean, we've been friends for years, and I've known your story, but I mean, as you just said, it really helps people that maybe don't know. It is that full circle thing. And so it's wow. So thank you for sharing that. Let's talk about Cabaret 2021. Again, one of my favorite events. So what can we expect this year? Because is it still a virtual event? I mean, it wasn't last year, but I mean, you didn't have it last year, but.
Right. No. So we are live. We are in person.
Okay.
We are going to probably be one of the first events to go live in Omaha, and we are being very conscientious still of what's going on around us. And but we have had a wonderful response, and we're going for it.
Okay.
Yeah,
so where's it at? Tell me venue, time, what's up?
Tom?
It's in the Embassy Suites in La Vista.
Okay.
Right.
Yep, and it's May 8th, and it's always Mother's Day weekend, and it starts at 6 p.m. And the event itself, we have kind of cut capacity for obvious reasons.
Sure.
And we are really happy about the response.
Yeah.
And it's just an evening. There are no auctions. They're live or silent. There are only raffles. And then the support that comes from corporations and those people in attendance. And we have dinner, and we, maybe have a few libations. And then, obviously we have a wonderful program honoring a family that has utilized CSI's foster program services. And then we have brought in a great comedian just to make everybody laugh.
Who is it?
And have a great time.
So who's a comedian?
So his name is Pat McGann.
Okay.
And he himself is a father, and is that how you say it? Maniscalco, yeah. And so he's extremely funny, and he has great stories about his experience going from a single guy to a happily married man to a wonderful father, and kind of all those fun stories in between, to which my husband can relate to as well. So
I'm so excited. I mean, I'm so excited for this event, because again, I know last year, really, when everything was kind of just being shaken up, and Cabaret, CSI being one of those in the first of May, when things were really kind of chaotic, that you're actually having it, and it is going to be at Embassy Suites La Vista, which is super exciting, great venue. So people can buy tickets. Are you also going to have an online presence, or is it just live?
We are not. As far as online presence, anybody who, maybe you don't want to go to the event, but you still wish to support, can go to childsavinginstitute.org and make a donation that way. We do have some tickets available. Again, we are really trying to be sensitive to the kind of maximum number of people that we feel comfortable having.
Yes.
Yeah, and not that we're trying to discourage anybody from not going, but we do have an opportunity to buy. There is $100 raffle ticket in which you don't need to be present to win. And it is a $5,000 shopping spree with your personal shopping steward and champagne at Borsheim's. And yeah. And even if you wouldn't go in person, obviously, you can shop Borsheim's online.
Yes. Yeah.
And our co-chairs for the event are Adrian and Pat Fay.
Yep.
And so, obviously Adrian has that connection with Borsheim's, and we are so grateful to her and to a guild member who owns Lawn Doctor that have also made that package possible.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be great. Yeah. So.
Well, I'm excited. I'm so excited about this. So I just want to thank you both for joining me today. I know everybody's schedules are super busy, but it's so great to see you two. I haven't seen you two for quite a while, so it's just really good.
It's so great. This event will kind of be the first time that we'll have some sense of normalcy when it comes to fundraising events in Omaha, which Omaha, I always felt like every weekend there was some good cause going on, and it's been frustrating not to feel connected to your friends and neighbors, and to be able to support these organizations. So we're excited that we're going to be one of the first ones that's able to do that. This organization means a ton to Melanie and I, and so we're really thrilled this is all coming together for us. So
well, and if I could just add to Andy, sometimes a lot of people think their husbands, they get drugged into these things just because they're married to the person that has the connection. But I really want to point out, CSI means a lot to David too, because he himself is adopted, not from CSI, but we have similar stories. And so, he's kind of adopted that agency, for lack of a better term.
Absolutely.
His passion project too. So it's, it's been very heartwarming to work with him on this for this cause. And he's been very engaged, and I just love him for it. So
well, I just want to thank you both. I've got a lot of adoption stuff in my family, which I'm not going to go into right now, but I just want to thank you. Thank you both, and thank you for taking the time to come on and chat with me on.
No, you're welcome. Thank you for supporting the event. And we look forward to seeing you in person soon.
Yep, absolutely.
Great to
All right, my
see
friends.
you, Andy.
All right, I'll see you later.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.